Why being the expert isn't enough to get promoted? I find this topic very, very interesting, and actually when I think about why am I doing what I'm doing, this is one of the reasons, because I want to help STEM professionals really showcase their work and make it tangible so that everyone, even the people who are in charge of promotions or funding, are able to understand what their work is about. And I want to talk today about this because I feel that many people are thinking, or we were kind of brainwashed into this idea of if you work hard, your work is going to be magically seen and you are going to be appreciated and everyone is going to want to give you a promotion and the funding and whatever. However, this is not the case, because doing the work is actually just one part of the job. The technical side of the work is just one part of the job. The other part is actually how do you sell that work, how do you explain it and showcase it to other people who are more often than not experts in our field, and how do you present your work to them in a way they are able to understand it and most importantly value it and appreciate it. So this is something that I would say keeps most of my mind going on whenever I'm coaching clients, whenever I'm thinking how can I do this job better so I can help more STEM professionals really be recognized for the amazing work that they're doing. And I feel that one of the most important parts of our job is, of course, the technical side, but we received plenty of training in that, university, grad school, work experience, you name it. But this other part of how am I actually going to explain my work so that other people first see it and then see how important and valuable it is, this is something we haven't been trained how to do. And then you have this situation where you have these brilliant experts that whenever they talk, whenever they explain their work, no one understands a word. And this is, in my opinion, a recipe for disaster. If you do not want to progress in your career, if you do not care about getting the funding, this is how you should operate. However, if you do care about that, there is this second part, which is how am I going to explain my work, make it tangible, and explain it in a way others are able to recognize it, see it, and understand it. And this is something that unfortunately we as STEM professionals haven't received enough training in. We are just supposed to magically know how to move ourselves in that environment, explain our work, make it clear to others, and so on. So there is this frustration and friction that happens when you are putting in all of that effort, but somehow you are moving in circles in your career and those promotions are not coming and those recognitions are not coming. So what is the deal? I would say that in 99% of the cases, the problem is because other people do not see the value of your work. And there are two reasons why this happens. First of all, because our STEM work is oftentimes very, very abstract. We use terms like algorithm, code, protocols, experiments, and so on. And people, if you ask people what those words actually mean, it's very hard for them to perceive, I would say, the materialization of those words. Like, what does a protocol mean? What does it mean to optimize something in terms of coding or models or so on? So it is our job to first make that work tangible. And the best way to do so is to stop for a moment, think about the audience we are talking to, and really make sure that we understand what is their pain point. For example, if you're talking to a fellow colleague, they are probably interested in how to make the project move faster, how to make the team function in a more efficient way, and so on. However, if you're talking to stakeholders, decision makers, CEOs, they are interested in terms like money, saving time, basically saving time, saving money, making more time, being more efficient, and so on. So you have to really stop for a moment and think about the pain the other person is feeling, and then find a way to connect your work to be the solution and offer your work as a solution for that problem that they are having. And of course, as everything in this life, this is a skill because it is not always so clear and so obvious how can we connect our work to the problem those people are feeling. And in order to get better at this, you have to sort of train this way of seeing the situation and perceiving how can you explain and storytell, actually achieve that through storytelling of your work, to make sure that those people see why exactly what you did and what you're doing is this important step to get to the bigger solution they are trying to achieve. So I am doing exactly that. I help STEM professionals showcase their work and explain their work so they can be recognized, valued, promoted, and funded. If you're interested in this kind of help in building and training this muscle, I will leave a link down below where you can schedule a completely free introductory coaching session where we can talk exactly about that. Like, what do you feel is the bottleneck in your career? Do you feel that your communication skills might have something to do with that? And most importantly, how can we make sure that this isn't what is preventing your progress in your career? Because I want to help you. I believe that this is something every STEM professional, if they achieve this, if they learn how to do this, it is actually going to solve so many problems in the short term, but especially in the long term. So I hope that you found this video useful, and as always, see you in the next few days with another video. Bye bye.